crashed. I'm not going to use my other scene transition, the tile one, because it seems to crash OBS every single time, and I don't know why. It's really strange, and I can't explain it, and I'm in IT and I can't fix it, so you know what? That's when we write things off. But yeah, let's actually just double check that my memory usage is fine. Yeah, looks okay. Not sure where everyone is today. I see we only got 23 people watching, but it's not too much of a problem. There's still a lot of games to go, so hopefully more people are going to tune in and enjoy. Of course, it is a Friday evening, Friday afternoon for people in America. But to go back to who's going to be playing, it's going to be a ZVP between Mazur for Net Wars and Norgrim from iRk. Now, Norgrim's only played 2 games, had 1 win, 1 loss. Mazur, on the other hand, has played 3. He's won 2, lost 1, so both of them doing an okay performance. They didn't appear as much as the other players did, of course, but still their arena of choice is going to be on Sinchapungniung. Now this is a really cool 2-player map, spawns at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Very tight chokes everywhere. Pretty good for Protoss, pretty good for Zerg as well. There is that backdoor into the natural. But let's see if that's going to make a difference in this next game. Let's head on over to the game and let's get started. Okay, so starting us off in the top or the bottom left position, fighting for Net Wars with a 1-0 advantage right now. It's going to be Mazur. The Polish? I think he's Polish. The Polish Protoss. I think they're all Polish on Net Wars. I don't think they've got a non-Polish player. And spawning up here in the top right hand side, 2 o'clock, we do have his opponent fighting from a deficit here. It's going to be one of the more famous, one of the more old school foreign players. It's going to be iRk, formerly TOT's Norgrim, the Purple Zerg. Now, this could be a very interesting game. Looks like to start us off, we're going to have Mazur going for a Forge Fast Expand, going immediately for that scout off the back of the pylon. Very indicative of a Forge Fast Expand, but of course, it doesn't mean they're not going to go for a Gateway Expand. That is still a possibility, but very, very unlikely, I would say. But here we go. If you've just tuned in, you are watching the playoff semi-finals. This is the first semi-final of today, and it's going to be between iRk and Net Wars. We do have Net Wars currently up 1-0 in the series. Zero did just have a really cool game with Whistler, so do check that out on the VODs if you do so happen to be watching at a later time. And yeah, so all the players on Net Wars, as I don't want to say it Muesli, I guess, as Muesli says, are from Poland. They are a Polish clan, so it wouldn't make much sense for them not to be. Of course, Zero has hosted a lot of events in Poland, like the first BSL 1 and 2 were, I think they were LAN finals, and they were in Poland as well. I think TrueTouch won both of those, so TrueTouch arguably one of the better Polish players, but of course, Mazur has been no slouch in the STPL so far. Now, we don't currently have the Nexus, that's going to be coming up in just a second. Meanwhile, the Probe just doing everything it can just to see what's going on now. We do, of course, have the hatchery coming up for our Zerg player into the spawning pool, so we will have a couple of Zerglings popping out to chase away this Probe if they can. Go after any proxy pylons. Of course, we don't see those today, but we do see Mazur being careful, adding on the first cannon straight away, wanting to make sure that he doesn't lose to a big lane counterattack. It's very hard to see that coming sometimes, especially when your Probe goes to sort of deal with this auxiliary third base here at the back. Now, I did say before, but there is like a path around the back. Unfortunately, for Norgrim, this is going to be blocked, so he is not going to be feeling pretty good about that. Now, is he going to try and take his other third base, which is here? Now, I would actually think this is going to be a mistake unless he's going for an aggressive play here. If you take that third base, it can be very difficult to defend. There's no chokes. I mean, I guess you could count this as a choke, but it's very, very wide. You do have the ramp, but that will lead up to the high ground. so it makes it very possible for Dragoons to sort of sit up here shelling down at the drones and things like that. But with the Nexus finishing up, it looks like we do have a Ling in the main. It doesn't look like any probes have gone down, but one of the Lings did die. I think that died to the cannon. So, just going to be as annoying as humanly possible. And looks like the actual second Ling just came back here. So, I think he may have taken damage on the Overlord to get this Ling in. That's actually quite clever. Other than that, not really too much going on as we see here. We do have a lair coming up for Norgrim. This could, of course, be for Muteless. It could also just be for Scourge as well, just to get that Spire very early on. Now, in a very weird situation, you will see Lurkers. Now, this is possibly one of those situations where we might see that. The only thing that points away from that is the fact there's no Hydralisk in yet. Basically, this is a very, very good map for Lurker Contains. Like, this is a very, very strong position to hold. It reminds me a lot of... Okay, I should say... Sniper Ridge reminds me a lot of this map in terms of the fact outside of your natural. Of course, on this map it's a little bit further away. On Sniper Ridge is pretty much right outside. You do have those ridges of high ground just at the top, but this is going to be the problem. We do have that Zealot moving in, and it's going to be very difficult for Norgrim to actually defend this base. Now, looks like we do have a couple of Lings popping out. They're going to be able to deal with this Zealot. If they get in a good position with the Zealot, looks like it's going to try and do everything it can to get behind the minerals to trade as efficiently as possible. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Now, we do have him popping behind those minerals now, but it's a little bit wider than on a lot of modern maps. Of course, by my definition, I would call this map from 2009 modern. But I know there's a lot of people who don't see it that way. They see it as like modern style. But either way, a very new map in comparison to a lot of the other ones. So there's been a lot of Brood War maps over the history of the pro scene of Brood War. And this, I suppose this was from 2008, so it is a little bit older. But there was still 8 years before that. There's been 9 years after, so it's middle-aged. It's a middle-aged map right now. Not really too much else to say. We have the Corsair coming out for Mazur. This is going to be very important because he's going to be going up against the Spire, which we do see here, so that's kind of important. He does have that now. Norgrim, interestingly, choosing to completely skip Hydralisk in here. Now, whether or not that's a stylistic choice, or if it's something he's specifically prepared for this map, or against his opponent, I'm not too sure. Now, Hydralisk buffs are actually really strong on this map, which is why this kind of surprises me. Like, this isn't a great wall. It's certainly no American-Mexico wall or anything like that. But you know what? We do have Scourge moving out. Looks like they're going to fan out alongside the Corsair. Not going to be able to pick this off, but the Corsair is going to have to be careful, as every single Corsair does count here. And as long as he can build up that Corsair count, he should be safe against any possible Muteless switches. But still, oh, there we go. We do have the Hydralisk in. He's going to be going for Hydra Speed first. That's fairly normal, I would say, so nothing too crazy. It looks like the Spire was in fact for Scourge, just getting them as quickly as possible. And I swear I was just following the Corsair, but then I lost it. Wait, did the Corsair die? Am I blind? Oh no, it's over there. Okay, well, we figured it out. So we do have 2 additional gateways going up in the main of Mazur right now. In terms of the Zerg's tech, we do have the Spire up, the Hydra's stand up as well, up to 5 hatcheries now. One thing that wouldn't surprise me to see is we'll probably see a drone go up to that top left location now and build the 6th hatchery. And as I say that, it looks like he's going to be doing that. So this is a fairly normal PvZ style. I guess the only difference is he did take a closer third, but it is a 2-player map and it splits vertically. Or it splits horizontally and it's a very thin map. So a little bit harder to take a third. Far third, and if anything, I think this benefits him going into the late game as he'll mine out of this base a lot later. So fairly good for him. Now we do have the Scourge looking around, trying to pick in, trying to get as anything they can. But the Corsair count is slowly going up. Do we have +1 air attack coming? Yes, we do. just about to finish up. We have a Templar Archives as well. Oh, but one of the Corsairs going down. That's a big mistake. A little bit of miss micro there, as he was focusing a lot on his Zealots, trying to kill as many of these Zerglings as possible before heading in for the counterattack, but they are going to come in to a very dangerous position. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, Storm is now researching. This is going to be what Missouri plans to do to deal with the large Hydralisk numbers, to deal with that mid-game Zerg army. But is this going to be enough Zealots? He's got +1. But this is a lot of defense. There's a lot of Hydralisks. A single Sunken going to be enough to push these away for now. And other than that, there's not really too much to say on the matter. Of course, both players doing a very good job keeping their money low the best they can. Zealot scanning around for any hidden bases, just wants to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard by anything. And as I did, we actually have Ling scouting for the possible third base locations. But here we go. Looks like we're going to have Norgrim pushing the boat out here. He's moving out with a lot of Hydralisks. Just look at the sheer number of Hydralisks moving across the map here. Is there even going to be enough to defend? Now, Missouri back at home should have a couple of High Templar. Storm should be finishing up soon. But he doesn't have the energy for Storm yet. This could be a perfect timing for a counterattack, but no! The Dark Templar is going to be enough on its own to push Norgrim away. And that's a very dangerous precedent to take. Of course, that was one big time that he could have killed his Protoss opponent, but he needs to be careful. There's no... oh man, there's no Spore Colonies. There's so many Overlords just died. This could be quite dangerous. The DT could actually be going up for a little bit of probe harass, and more and more Overlords are going down, really abusing the terrain, forcing the Hydralisks to move around to try and defend these. But just how many Overlords is Norgrim gonna lose before all is said and done? Now, this is just so much damage to be taken. I think he's lost about 7 Overlords, and that's 700 minerals he can't really be affording to throw away to try and defend. There is 3 Overlords finally here. And there's 1 over here. Looks like the Hydralisks are in place to finally defend against this. The Corsairs doing their best to try and push in, try and get as much of any damage done with this DT as possible. But here we go. But could this be a bait? Could this be to try and snipe that Overlord? That's only 1 Overlord going in behind this, and none of the Corsairs have gone down yet. Really nicely done, but needs to be careful. The DT goes down anyway. But still, Missouri has done a fantastic job with his Corsairs even. And it looks like we are seeing Missouri start to diversify his army, moving out of that pure Zealot composition, adding on his Dragoons, making sure he gets ready for Lurkers, and just moving into a more stable, later stages of the game army. And unfortunately, it is 1080p only. I don't have the luck to get the quality options. I do plan on changing that at some point, but unfortunately because I'm not a Twitch partner, I can't do anything about it. I just need to have luck of the draw. The only thing I can do is stream on a lower resolution, but I'd prefer not to do that if I can. So it's all going to come down to exactly what's going on and how we're going to fix it. But we do have those Lurkers coming into play. Do we have Hive on the way? We do have a Queen's Nest coming up and the Hive. Wait. This is double Queen's Nest. Is he going the drone style of just mass queens? Or is this a mistake? Now, he's gone Hive and this second Queen's Nest, so it'll be interesting to see if this is actually intentional or not. Are we going to see double Queen upgrade coming at the same time? Norgrim is a bit of an old school player. He does like playing similarly to drone. Okay, apparently most streamers use 720p. Maybe I should change that. What upgrades do we have for the Zerg? We've got 1-0 for the Zerg player, 1-1 for the Protoss. So the Protoss is going to be adding on 2-1 at the moment. Looks like he actually went for +1 armor before +2 attack. His Templar Archives was a little bit delayed, so that would make a lot of sense. But it looks like we just have both players kind of jostling for position on the map. We do have that wall out the front with a single pylon, and these the very mobile army of the Protoss player is doing the best it can to sort of stop any Ling run-bys, but he does need to be careful. Slowly but surely Norgrim has taken his entire side of the map. He's trying to take a 5th base now, And that's going to be a very dangerous precedent for him to take. Now he needs to be careful. Norgrim's moving out. Do we actually have any observers here with this army? I don't think we do. Here we go. One is coming in behind. Is this going to be enough though? He's taking quite a decent chunk of damage. And oops, sorry, I completely missed that. That was a nice storm, but here we go. We have Norgrim coming in for the flank. There's units on both sides. Dragoons taking down the lurkers, so pretty good move by him. But of course we do have these flanking Hydralisk forces that can come in from behind and do a lot of damage here. There we go. Okay, so we do have lurkers on the high ground. I'm going to make it a little bit harder to push in, and it looks like the trap card has been activated. He's going to move in from behind, try and encircle the Protoss army on this incredibly narrow map, but he's actually lost the ability to do so, and here we go, stacking the lurkers, trying to unstack them, but that's a lot of damage being done by those storms. And this is not enough, only half of the Zerg army is fighting at once, and this is a position the Zerg do not want to be in. Still 1-0 upgrades against the 1-1, a nice, great storm going down, and slowly but surely Norgrim's forces are being completely decimated. The superior forces of Missouri here, I zoomed out way too late. The superior forces of Missouri are doing an incredible job there, and they do trade armies entirely. Now the trouble is, does he have enough to break in? There's not really that much left to defend here, and there's another huge swell of units coming in from Missouri here. This is so much damage heading towards the Zerg's base. Can Norgrim hold on? It looks like he's going to try and cut this army in half, but is it going to be good enough? The lurkers incredibly stacked once again. And there we go, so many lurkers going down, so many lurkers dying, 2-1 upgrades kicking in at the perfect time. And Norgrim is on his last legs. This could be a very quick 2-0 for Net Wars here in this first clash of Group A versus Group B. The Evolution Chamber going down immediately. Another storm going down on another lurker, but really, what are you going to do? He can't snipe the observer. The lurkers are not achieving anything. And this third base is being completely and utterly destroyed. Norgrim trying to rally in any units he can. He finally has a Defiler, and that's going to help against the Protoss Dragoon army, but is it too little too late? I think it may be. The hatchery goes down, and Norgrim's not actually mining down here. Looks like he's trying to get a creep colony up. But what is his plan from here? How on earth is he going to deal with a now 4 base Protoss? I don't think he can. And this is where I'd be like bouncing off of someone else, but here I am solar casting again. And it looks like these Hydralisks coming in at the perfect time. Going to be able to snipe some of these cannons. Of a little bit of mismicro, it doesn't matter. Here we go, there's a big engagement at the top of this ramp. Now, weirdly enough, that seems to be enough to scare Missouri's army away for now. But even if he scares him away, he's just going to scare him to an even more vulnerable location. Norgrim trying to take this base again. And there are lurkers, spores, and sunkens up here, so going to make it a little bit harder to push in. But realistically, how is Norgrim going to deal with this? It looks like he's trying to go for the counter-attack. Oh my god, he could get all of these probes if he sets up in the right place. It looks like he's just about missed the boat though. And there we go, another great spread on the lurkers. Just trying to force as many storms as possible. And yeah, I mean, you say that for face, but I'm used to solar casting, it's all good. I was going to co-cast with Cadenti today, but something came up, so I suggested that she didn't join me. It's better that way, just because I don't want people to co-cast if they're not feeling up to it. Rapid, of course, is in he's in America now for DreamHack Austin, so that's going to be on after the STPL is finished, so do tune in to support him. I know it's a StarCraft 2 tournament, but it's Rapid and he's cool, so whatever. But here we go, all of Norgrim's units going down again, and I mean, he's sending units down here, but how are you going to break the 4 cannons? How are you going to do anything? You're just throwing army and army away and away into the middle of the map, into the meat grinder of this 2-1, soon to be 3-1 Protoss force. And it looks like he's going to try and push in. He does have Swarm here, that's going to allow him to do it. As you can see, the Lings, or the cannons, are going to miss the Lings. And I mean, he could take a lot of damage here. The Lurkers can't actually get past the pylon though, that's kind of funny. But oh my god, Adrenaline hasn't kicked in yet, but if there was more Lings and they had Adrenaline here, they may even take out the Nexus. But can he defend? Looks like we do have two Lurkers worth their weight in gold up here. Can he save the Nexus? It's going to be close to, there we go. It is saved. And Norgrim with a very, very small army has actually got enough to deal with this, but what is Norgrim going to do about this? He can see the DTs, but this hatchery is 100% going down. You cannot save this, no matter... Oh! Oh, he's not going to target the hatchery. He's only got one DT on it. He could actually hold the hatchery. That would be an incredible hold. But the Lurker's bugged out on the Lings. And the hatchery goes down as well. And that is an unfortunate loss for Norgrim. But he's pushing back in. He's in the third base. He's doing a lot of damage as well. The small armies of Norgrim just moving around all over the place. Actually doing a lot with the swarm here. And there we go. I mean, look at this. Just all of the probes going down to this Lurker. This Lurker on 13 kills. Oh my god, he's actually storming his own zealots to death, trying to take out this this Lurker. And Norgrim has done it. He somehow managed to pull his way back into the game by playing incredibly scrappily. He's done so much probe damage. He's killed so many units. And he's been so efficient with his Defiler usage. And it does look like this was a mistake with the double Queen's Nest. But Norgrim has somehow fought against all odds to bring it back here in the second game. I thought this game was all but over. But Norgrim says, no, I am still here. I am still not done. And I am not giving up for my team. And Norgrim secures another fourth base. He's going to secure his fifth base as well. But more and more units actually flooding out now for Missouri. It looks like Missouri's moving around with his Corsairs now as well. Going to try and take down any air units that could possibly come out to snipe his High Templar. Of course, we do often see like Mute switches in the late game. But Norgrim is pretty broke right now. He lost a lot of drones. He's lost a lot of mining time. And he doesn't actually have that many drones mining at his bases. He seems to have one per mineral patch up until his third base. But here we go. Looks like we do have Missouri going for this high ground pod. Can he actually take this down with Dragoons? This is one of the problems I mentioned before. There's a lot of sort of... Oh, he actually stormed... He stormed his own High Templar to death. He does get a single Defiler, but I'm not sure that was worth it. But here we go. Defiler moving in. It's got enough for... Wait, he doesn't have Defiler energy yet, does he? So he's got enough for possibly a Plague, but we've not seen a Plague go down yet, which is kind of interesting. Usually if we're seeing these super efficient armies, they often use Plague, but hasn't seemed to need it. Just using Swarm, but here we go. Looks like we're going to have a Swarm go down on the Nexus. There's going to be no units here to defend against this. And the probes are being pulled away. Are they going to try and go for the Defiler, or are they just running away? It looks like they're just going to run away. But here we go, another big engagement in the middle of the map. We do have Storm going down on top of the Lurkers. It's pretty much only Lurkers back here against Storm and Zealot and Dragoon. And you know what? That's not that great, but here we go. The cannon nearly goes down. The Nexus has gone down as well. And slowly but surely, Mizzou's army is dwindling. He's lost his fourth base. He's mined out his main and his natural. His third base is going to be mined out soon as well, but this is just so much damage. How many kills are these on? 4 and 0 somehow, but so many units going down, so much destruction. But the Lurkers are now going down to the DTs. This base is likely going to be taken out as well. But I don't think Mizzou scouted this base. I'm sure he hasn't, otherwise he'd be trying to do something about it. Oh, but there we go, actually using the Swarm against him, just standing outside of it. Not going to be enough to hold on there, but here we go. The last remaining Dragoons of Missouri are going to go down. Missouri does have a pretty big bank, which does make me worry that he's not... No, he is macroing. Okay, so it's not a bugged replay. And finally, we do see a Plague, and what a money Plague that is. Does get... Oh, he misses the Archons, but it doesn't matter. They only have 10 health anyway. But he does get the Dragoons, and that's going to make his units even more efficient. Now, we do have an observer over this base, just seeing what's going on. We have Lings moving down to try and stop any possible 5th base attempts from the Protoss player. But we've actually kind of reset now. It's an odd situation, but it does happen sometimes in Brood War games where things are so scrappy that both players trade army after army until both of them are very, very low economy again, and it's almost like we start the game but with full tech. I mean, this Nexus is at half health, and that's a lot of cannons, but the one problem that Norgrim has is he's just having trouble building like overlords and keeping them alive. He's trying to keep them with his army now. And oh my god, that hatchery actually goes down. That was such a money moment there for that DT. Trying to get that hatchery. Just trying to extend his win. Extend his lead as Norgrim. But Missouri is still not out. He's still in a good position. He's taking his 4th base again, as you can see here. That should be finishing up soon. The only trouble he has is his 3rd base is very nearly dry. Norgrim, of course, as a Zerg player, they only have 1 drone per mineral patch, so their bases last a lot longer, which is why Zerg economies seem to last forever, and their banks last forever as well. But Norgrim is pretty poor. He's been spending his money very well, and this is going to be one of the problems that Missouri's going to have. Like, he's not really been able to get the edge that he wants, but moves like this are going to allow him to do that. He gets some really great storms across all of the lurkers, and all he has to do is stop Missouri from taking another base, and he should be able to secure this victory. Missouri's bank is slowly starting to dry up. He's on three upgrades now, so in a pretty good situation. I do wonder if he's adding on shield upgrades. Yes, he is, which is kind of surprising. There we go, some Scourge coming in to try and deal with the Corsairs. Does get a couple of them, but not as many as maybe he would have wanted. But we see the Zerg player trying to go for these cannons. Another plague goes down. And this is one of the problems that Missouri has as well. He needs to spread his army a little bit better now, or get a Dark Archon for feedback. These Defilers are always coming in with full energy, and this is one of the reasons why you see Drone a lot of the time go for those Dark Archons with feedback, because it's just so powerful. And here we go, we actually have a drop in the main. I was trying to find out what that was. And this is going to take down a good number of pylons, could even take out some of the gateways. And looks like we're going to have a counter push into the army of Norgrim. This could be the moment that decides the game. 3 of the lurkers have only just spawned, and they are incredibly, incredibly clumped. Is this going to be enough though? There's a lot of Archons bullying their way through everything here, but the lurkers survive. The lurkers hold. And this could be enough to finally take down the units. It looks like Missouri got a little bit careless with his Corsairs as well. And we actually have a counter drop coming in. It's going after as many drones as it can. But these drones are not that important for Norgrim anymore. The gas is depleted, the minerals are nearly gone as well. And getting the hive isn't going to do too much. He thinks he's going to stop some upgrades. But it looks like Norgrim has stopped at 2-2. Didn't really want to go for any additional ones. And as of course, as time goes on, Missouri's army is going to be a little bit more efficient. That's a guaranteed outcome. But just the efficiency Norgrim has got out of his units this game have been incredible. Like, he has done so much this entire time. It looks like he's even going to get the spawning pool as well. He's going after the Defiler Mount. Defiler's of course one of the big units for the Zerg to try and pull their way back against the late game Protoss army. But, I mean, how is Missouri going to take another base? His 3rd base is dried up. His 4th base is quite healthy. Of course, he did lose that, so that's going to be a little bit better. And Norgrim's 5th base, very healthy as well. And Norgrim's sitting with a pretty good economy still. His 3rd and 4th base are almost dried up, though. So we are going to have a 1-base Zerg against a 1-base Protoss soon. Unless one of the players can get this all-important base over here on the right-hand side. This has been the point of contention for about the past 10 minutes in the game, I would say. And the supply counts are still incredibly similar. Now, he did save his Defiler Mount, so that's pretty good for him. He didn't lose any important tech structures like the spawning pool, so he is in a pretty good situation. And you know what? This is still such an insane game. We have a lot of lurkers still on the way here. 3 carapace has been finished. Oh, and this is going to be a big drop. Now, this drop could be the moment, could be the tool that Norgrim needs to use to win the game, but if he sends it in the wrong place, he could actually lose position on the map and lose all of the units. Now, it looks like he's going straight for the main. Is this going to be enough to deal with what the Protoss has? He's lost his units over here on the left-hand side. A Shuttle is going to see the Overlords. This is such an important moment, but can he get back to defend? His army is completely out of position. And it looks like he's going to have to sack his main here. He's got nothing he can do. 2 High Templar have spawned, but they of course will not have energy. Going to spawn directly into an Archon. But this is just Lurkers. And they're incredibly well stacked. And look at this Storm. This Storm is going to do so much. And that is so many units for Norgrim to be losing. He can't really afford to be losing those, but here we go. More and more units, still no Dark Archons. Can't really afford the upgrades, but still so many Archons, so many Templar, so many Zealots. Going to make it very difficult for our Protoss player to do any... Oh, sorry, for our Zerg player to do anything. I mean, this is still a lot of damage to be taking. He does have his cannons coming up over on the right side. That's going to allow him to try and secure this, and of course... One thing you can note about where he's positioning his units on the map, he's holding this small choke. He's holding the ramp. He doesn't want units getting anywhere near his base if they can help it. And a nice plague does go down, but as I said before, I mean, health on an Archon is kind of inconsequential. When their shields are gone, they die immediately anyway. And Norgrim is actually trying to take the 2 mineral-only bases. And that's going to be a difficult thing for him to hold. I mean, a single Archon could actually take this out. But we're in a weird sort of stalemate where neither player can actually push into the other one. But here we go, moving back to try and take down this hatchery. That could be a mistake. And this is why we actually see units moving around the top left. We have cannons coming up, and they're not going to be finished in time. But that's a nice storm to try and defend against this. Now, the hatchery does go down. It was not cancelled. We have the Overlords coming back. The main base is in shambles right now. We do have a Lurker on top of the cannons right now trying to warp in. And there we go, looks like we do have the Archons unable to kill the Lurker for a long time due to the splash damage. And we're kind of in a stalemate situation. Let's have a look at the Zerg's bases. He's mined out of his natural, mined out of his 3rd base. Very nearly mined out of his 4th base. His 5th base, still pretty healthy, but that'll mine out fairly soon as well. And we have this weird situation where a player has actually got one of these middle bases. This barely ever happens on this map, just because of how hard it is to hold. Now, I've seen it in TVP, where like the Terran will push up and lay tanks here and they take it, but I mean, it's very, very rare for this to happen. And it looks like we do have a very, very efficient Protoss ball right now. It's mainly Zealots, Archons, and Templar. But here we go, there's going to be another big drop coming in. And of course, this drop still isn't over. This Lurker with 10 kills. The other one with 4. I can't remember if it counts building kills, but these Zerglings are definitely going to be the thing that tips the scales in this base trade, I guess. Yeah, here we go. That Nexus is going to go down. An Archon has popped out. It's going to go down to the Lings, unfortunately. He's not targeting correctly. And his Templar Archives is going to go down. He's going to lose his Robo. He's going to lose his last remaining gateways. They're actually unpowered right now. Does he have any other gateways? Looks like he's trying to build some over here. This will help not only wall, he's rebuilding some of his tech as well. We see another, like, 2 Robos coming in. He's probably going to look to switch to Reavers, just because he will have that extra glut of minerals. But here we go, a Storm Drop coming in. That's going to be a lot of damage. Look at that. Able to get all of the minerals in one go. And this is a very weird manner. Look at this. That drone has to go so far to get to this final mineral. But here we go, the extra hatchery was taken down again. Nice storm on top of the Overlord, going to force it into the cannons. And every single unit counts at this point. It's going to be very hard. Oh, you know what he could do? He could actually storm drop this as well. That would be even better. Like, these are literally all in that storm, if he does so choose to do that. But there we go. Unpowered gateways, not really important to kill those, but he really should be using these Lings. And we've hit this weird situation now where both of them are mining really off of one base. We have one gas being mined here, one gas being mined here. His other gases are going to be depleted. And I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is probably one of the craziest games we've had so far in the STPL. This is the playoffs. This is the first playoff of today. So there is another series coming up after this one. And luckily enough, I decided to do this on Friday and not Wednesday because, man, I could be very late to work. But here we go, the extra gateways are going down. It looks like we're going to have some more Scourge going down, but... Did he just kill his own... Wow, actually, just look at this. 19 kills, 14 kills, 8 kills, and 6. It sounded like he killed his own observer, which was the weird thing. But you can see that he's bringing overlords to try and snipe these observers with the double Scourge. Now, there's been no drones added back onto here. He can't really afford them. He's building everything into army units to try and deal with this. And oh, it's the Scourge going down. Okay. My bad. I know the Scourge... Oh, here we go. That's a bit of a waste, but nice. Storm does go down. Storming a second time a little bit too early, though. I mean, this is such a weird game. I can't even call it. Like, I don't know what to say. We actually have 2 gas being mined. Thank you, Gogo, for the bit donation or the cheer or whatever you like to call it. It means a lot, man. And it looks like we have Norgrim trying to push in, trying to do some extra damage to the army. But the problem is, how is Missoula going to rebuild this army? It looks like he's trying to add on Reavers. Looks like he's trying to add on as much splash as possible. He's got 3 Reavers up here. Another one in the shuttle as well. And the Reavers are going to be what can tip the scales here. He's got Reavers with the army now. He's got 2 up here. But we do see Norgrim taking this extra base. Oh, nice amount of Reaver Scarabs. Looks like the Reavers did walk into that a little bit too early. We have a nice plague going down. Gonna take those Reavers down to 1 health. I'm gonna take the shuttle, more importantly, to 1 health as well. Okay, that takes a very... Does it not? I thought it took everything to 1 health. That is so weird. 2 health. Huh. But here we go. Like, so we do have... Now, okay, the one thing I did neglect to add, which is kind of important, is if you don't already know about this, Scarabs cost minerals. And one thing Missoula really does not have right now, it's minerals. He is going to have 1 base worth, and every single mineral he's getting now is going to be going into these Scarabs. Now, of course, he does have a lot of other stuff. Now, we actually have the Archons going for a drop into the main. Could this be the mistake? Oh, looks like we actually have another Lurker going down. Really, really nicely done on the Reavers. As you can see, the Reavers kind of constantly building Scarabs, and that's going to keep Missoula's money very, very low. But this is a big move. Taking out this tech is a very, very important thing, as it does mean that Norgrim isn't going to be able to rebuild it, at least very easily. Now, he's going for the Spire. He doesn't want to get caught off guard by Muters. Of course, the... one thing he's actually building is Reavers and Scarabs and Shuttles, so he doesn't want Scourge to ruin his day. Gonna pick up those Archons again, gonna get them out of here. He called the boys in, he's taken them back out, and they are going home. But here we go, nice Scourge, can he get them? He gets one of the Shuttles with 2 of the Hero Archons in, and that is such a big, big moment. Missoula is barely mining now. His Reavers are gonna be enough to hold on. This Reaver on 11 kills already. And more Corsairs are actually coming in, and this once again is just... I have no idea what to say anymore. But that is certainly not cost efficient. 1 Scarab killing a Ling is cost efficient. 4 Scarabs killing a Ling is certainly not. Oh, this Lurker could do a lot of damage. It just doesn't have vision. It's just missing vision over the... Oh no, it's not. It's just out of range. Okay. Well, that was nearly hype. But there's no Observer here, is there? Oh, now there is. That poor Lurker goes down immediately as soon as that Observer gets there. But just look how much damage these Scarabs are doing. Oh man, a Storm as well. These poor Lurkers just do not stand a chance, but they do get one of the Reavers. And every single unit counts in a game like this. Norgrim actually has the base advantage. He's up 2 bases. Admittedly, they are mineral onlys, but this game still has a long way left into it. We could see the entire map mined out. One thing that we should actually see is Missoula going to finish mining these, just to make sure he gets them. But a nice plague once again on top of the Reavers. Gonna make it hard to do anything now. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to take this down. Looks like he's finally gonna do it now. Does he have Scarabs? Yeah, he does. Why is he not attacking this? Oh, here we go. This is going to be the moment. The drones pulled away immediately. They do not want to go down. He cannot afford to be remaking those. And the Reavers slowly but surely showing their cost effectiveness. as they push forward into the Zerg bases. Now, it's so weird to see both these bases taken to the middle. I mean, just if we zoom out, we can literally see where all the points of contention are on the map right now. That's how crazy close this game is. Every single mineral, every single unit, every single lick of gas is incredibly important here. Man, I have no idea how to call this. I shouldn't call it. Let's go with the ride, because this is such a... Oh, this could be the moment that could actually end the game, though. In Norgrim's favour, he has a nice flank from both sides. The Reavers are going down, but a nice set of storms. Gonna take down a lot of the units, but this Reaver could go down. He needs to take down that. No, he saves the Reaver at the last possible second, but here we go. Hydras still moving in. Is there any storms left available? No, there isn't. Yes, there is. There's one. I lied. And it does take down a decent number of these Hydras. Now the Hydras moving up once again, transferring into Lurkers and going back again. That's going to cost them a few minerals. Oh, but that poor High Templar is going to go down. Now the problem is, for Mazur, he is mining, as I said, off of just one base. His fourth gas is still mining. His third gas is going to be depleted at this point. Yes, it is. He's actually got... I suppose having the extra probes on his mine down gas is probably better. But trying to micro the Reaver back, that is certainly something I've never seen. But it looks like Mazur may have run out of steam here. He barely has any units. Most of the supply is actually in Corsairs. And I hate to tell him, but these Corsairs aren't going to be able to shoot down. We do have a single Reaver, 2 High Templar. What else is there? There's another Reaver here, but is it going to be enough? The Lurkers trying to get in range of the probes. Oh, and he saves it. He saves it with a shot at the last possible second. But that Lurker, 15 kills. Was that just on probes? 16 kills. 17 kills. All of the probes going down right now. A lot of them have been transferred into the gas. But still, Mazur is no longer mining minerals. He can no longer afford to replenish any of this, any of the scarabs. And it looks like, as I said, Mazur has just run out of steam. How is he going to hold on to this? He's got 2k gas! 2k gas remains! He's got more gas, I think, than he has minerals left on the map. Oh, that's a lie. But, you know what, that'd be kind of cool. And yeah, I kind of agree with you, Rother. I think he should have been going for Dark Archons a little bit sooner. But here we go. Another Reaver has gone down. He's trying to build as many Scarabs as possible, but he just doesn't have any money. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. The shuttle's down. The Reavers are going to go down as well. And with that, GG is called. And Norgrim is going to beat Mazur in an insane 40-minute game. What a series. And you know what? That was a great game on a great map. And I am so happy we had the pleasure of seeing that, because that is going to tie us back up 1-1 in the first semi-final today. So let me update the overlay, guys. I will load the next replay and play the intro, and then I will be back in just a minute. So see you guys then. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. I'm your host Kix and you are tuning in to the round 1 playoff semi-finals. I do apologise for the lack of STPL content the past couple of weeks. We've had a tie-break week, so only one set of teams played. That was iRk versus White before. And of course we do have the 2 playoff teams playing this week and next week. So next week there's going to be 2 nights of cast because they are going to be best of 7. And I do not want to die while casting them, so I'm going to do that. But I've just loaded up the next replay, so let's actually just quickly finish setting up the overlay and we can get on ready with the next game. So hopefully you enjoyed that last game. We had an epic series between Norgrim and Mazur, so that was kind of crazy. Probably one of my favourite series of the SCPL so far, actually. So really, really well done by both players. Really impressive to see that. Now let's actually head on over to the overlay. Let's going to see who is going to be our third match of today. And let's see how that is going to be going. And thank you once again to GoGoFo69 for the 1000 bits here. That does mean a hell of a lot. So thank you. Cheers. And hope you're enjoying the content. So let's move on over to the overlay and let's see what's coming up next. Okay, as you can see, we're going to have a PvP between NetWars Yeti and iRk's DeWalt. Now, DeWalt does look like he's 0 for 1, but before he moved on to iRk, he was 6 for 0 for SK Alpha. It's just he didn't have a very good week last week. He did lose his game. So he has done an insane job, and he's actually won 2 PvPs already. And so has Yeti. Yeti 5 for 1 as well. So Yeti has done an incredible job for his team. Really been one of the linchpins in their lineup in leading them into this semi-final. They did win Group A because of players like Yeti, because of players like Koga, because of players like Mazur and Zero. So I mean, a really constant performer for his team and done an incredible job so far. And DeWalt, of course, no slouch. Arguably the best foreign player at the moment, especially the best foreign Protoss. Now Bonneth has moved on to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And you know what? He has been no slouch whatsoever throughout the entire thing. But you know what? Let's head on over to the map and let's have a look at what map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be the only new Empire of the Sun. We've seen this a lot throughout the SCPL. We've had an insane amount of series, insane amount of games. As you can see, we've had 7 CVPs, 5 TVCs, and 2 PBTs. No, I can't. Wait. Yeah, no. Okay, I was wrong. 5 TVCs, 7 CVPs, and 4 PBTs. It's been one of the constant maps of round 1. And here we have it here in the semi-final again. 4 corners, low ground thirds with gas with 2 ramps going into them. Not the easiest map to take a third, but let's see how both of these players are going to play this out in this next PvP as we move on over to our third game of this evening. Let's get started. And starting us off in at the top right-hand side, we do have the red Protoss fighting for iRk. It's going to be DeWalt. And his opponent down here in the bottom right-hand side is going to be in the blue. Fighting for NetWars, it's going to be Yeti. Now, this is one of the maps that's probably led to some of the most interesting games throughout the entire thing. PvP is a little bit interesting here. There is an island base at 12 and 6. I did forget to neglect that before. So if a player does go for an early Reaver play or early shuttle play in general, they can take that very, very quickly. And it is quite easy for them to defend. So going to be interesting to see how both of them play this out. Now it looks like we are going to have a quicker scout coming up from Yeti. He's not going for a proxy pylon or anything. But it looks like DeWalt is going to feel a little bit safer. And whoops, I put the colours around the wrong way. Let me just fix that. Thank you for pointing that out. There we go, colours are fixed. No, they're not. Or are they? Yeah, they are. Okay, so it's going to be a 9 scout here from Yeti, as Dota just picked out. There is a gas on the way for, looks like only DeWalt at the moment, so it's going to be 1 gate gas, and it looks like we could have a 2 gate. No, we are going to see the gas being added as well, so just a very early scout from Yeti. Wants to try and... It's going to be hard to throw DeWalt off his kilter. Like, he's trying to do what he can, trying to do a little bit of probe harass. Could we see a... Is there any real proxy pylon location or mana pylon locations on this map? I guess you could try and fit one here and block this one mineral, but I don't think it's really worth it. Especially you could block this one as well. But it looks like we're not going to see that. He's just being as annoying as possible with his probe. Doing a really, really nice job of getting in and out of there without taking any hull damage as well. So, really, really nicely done by Yeti. Just being as annoying as physically possible. And if you'll just excuse me for 1 second, I just need to quickly mute my microphone. Won't be a moment. Okay, so I am back. One of the problems that I mentioned many times before is the more I cast, the more my voice gets nasally, and because we had 2 long games so far, my voice is already gone. So that's one of the problems of solo casting, but as I did mention before, there was a little bit of an unfortunate situation that came up, which meant Cadenza couldn't co-cast with me today, but it's fine. But I didn't want to force her to cast if she didn't feel up to it. So, she is going to take a break today. Hopefully she'll be able to join me for the playoff finals next week. And if Rapid is still in Austin by the end of the week, maybe I can see if he can cast with us as well, but I guess he's only there for the weekend. If I can find a way, if I can find out that he is free and he's not busy on, say, Monday or Tuesday and he doesn't fly back, then I'll see if I can get him to cast with me as well, because they were only here for a couple of days. Like, I only met Rapid for the first time then, and Cadenzi for the first time then as well. But it's been very, very empty in here without them. My prison cell is very lonely when there's no one else here to keep me company. But you know what? Doesn't really matter. In terms of the game, we do have a robo facility coming up for Yeti, along with a 2nd gate. Meanwhile, we have a Citadel and a Templar Archives coming up for DeWalt. So DeWalt is going to be going for that quick DT build. And that's all well and good, but here we go. DeWalt is actually going to go DT expand, it looks like now. Is Yeti gonna go for an observatory? I would imagine he is based on the robo, but could he be going straight for shuttle and Reaver here? Because he's going 3 gateway, and this could be a very dangerous situation if he does not get the observatory. Now, is this probe going to do it? Yes, he is, so he is going to be safe against this Templar Archives play, so he is going to be feeling pretty good. And with these 3 gates, he could actually look to punish a very greedy DeWalt here. And Cadenzi's fine, by the way. It's nothing serious, so don't worry. I probably shouldn't have mentioned anything, but that's why she's not co-casting with me. I know I did announce it in the thread. But we're going to have a very quick forge coming up from DeWalt as well. He knows his observers are going to be very late, so doesn't want to die to DTs himself. Going to get the cannon up at his natural. Now, of course, that is going to have the I guess it is an expected benefit of being able to defend against this very, very quick 3-gate pressure build with Observer. Yeah, it's nothing too serious, so don't worry about it. But here we go. Looks like the Observer popping out at the perfect timing. Gonna get this DT, it looks like. Can the DT get away to live to fight another day? It looks like it will do. And this is going to be a constant thorn in Yeti's side. Yeti is not going to be able to move out on the map properly. Oh, but the DT is getting a little bit ballsy here. It moved back in. And it's just outside of Observer range. If the Observer moves slightly over, I think the DT could actually kill it. Now, the one problem is, if this Observer does go over here, this other DT could come in behind. But look at this movement from Yeti. He may be able to see the DT. But no, he's not going to see the DT with the Observer. Is there another Observer here? Yes, there is, but there's no units back here to defend. And Yeti is going for that all-in counter, or not all-in counter-attack, but counter-attack. He's sending all of his units all in. He only has a single Dragoon back here to defend. Of course, the DT cannot shoot up, so it can't hit the Observer. But he's going to find it very, very annoying to deal with this. This DT is going to get a lot of probes, and he does have 4 cannons back at home, adding a 5th one as well. And this attack by Yeti is not going to do anything. Now it looks like the DT has in fact been cleaned up, so no further aggression will come out from DeWalt, but Yeti is in a pretty silly position right now. He can't take another expansion. He's building off of 3 gateways on 1 base. And he's trying to add on enough Dragoons to push in here. Is this going to be enough? It looks like the Zealot gonna snipe one of the Dragoons there. Great target firing. And looks like it will do as English thing. I don't know, it's maybe a British English thing, but still, I mean, Yeti is doing a pretty good job trying to snipe down these cannons, forcing more to be built by DeWalt, but DeWalt is sitting pretty on 2 base right now. And this is going to be a bad, bad situation. Storm is finished now for DeWalt. And what on earth is Yeti going to do? Yeti can't expand, as I said before. He's not going into any further tech. He is just going all in here against DeWalt, and DeWalt is a very, very strong player. And apparently I missed a DT on blue probes. I do apologise for that. That would explain why the probe count's a little bit lower, but the DT, or the Dragoon's trying to push in, trying to do any damage it can, but we should have a storm coming up here soon. And there we go, a nice storm goes down against 4 Dragoons! And there's only 3 Dragoons left that do remain to try and fight DeWalt's army, and it's just not going to be enough. Yeti is on his last legs. He's trying to stay in the game. He wants to get Net Wars the win, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it this time. And there we go. So, I mean, there's not really too much else we can say about this game, and iRk going to be worth its weight in gold, doing as much damage as it can, soaking as many Dragoon hits as it can as well. Just look how how little damage that took from all of those Dragoons. And a nice storm goes off again, damaging more and more of these units. And I think, unfortunately, Yeti is still just trying to process what's gone on in this game. I think he thought he had a great position, and then, unfortunately, DeWalt just played too well defensively. And I mean, DeWalt is pretty much playing this like a PvC, just building on lots of cannons, lots of units to sort of defend his front. The only difference is they're not Zealots, they're Dragoons. And I mean, Yeti's still trying to make this work. I mean, by some miracle, he still can. There is a chance. There is only 1 storm. There's not even a single storm here now, actually. So if he can get enough units, maybe he can do it. But it looks like he could be saving up for a Nexus. And no, GG has been called. Yeti knows he's too far behind. There's nothing he can do. And that's going to be GG. So Yeti is going to go down, and DeWalt is going to take iRk up 2-1. Okay, let's head on over to the intro once again, and I will be back in just a minute or so with the next game. I'll report that, and let's head on over to the next game. See you guys in just a moment. Okay guys, you are back. You are watching the Shin Hantank Pro League. This is the round 1 playoffs, and we are currently at a 2-1 situation for iRk over Net Wars. Thank you, GoGoFo, for the bit donation again. Man, you are so generous. You are like my sugar daddy right now. You are buying me food for the week, so thank you. But yeah, we had an exciting series so far. DeWalt versus who did you just play out? I've forgotten. Yeti. That was a little bit one-sided, I would say, but it was a bit of more of a build order loss than anything. But PvP can go like that sometimes. But you know what? People always say save the best till last, and this very well could be. I nearly forgot to breathe. It's actually going to be a PvT. Let's have a look at who our players are going to be. And let's have a look at what map they're going to be playing on. Okay, this is the wrong screen, but as you can see, they're going to be on Pathfinder. I was way ahead of you. But here we go. Having a look at the players, we're going to have for Net Wars. It's going to be their captain, the one, the only, the Polish mastermind. It's going to be Koga, who is 6-for-1 currently in the STPL. He has done an insane job, and he has won 4 TVPs throughout the Shinhan Tank Pro League so far. Everyone, 4 TVPs. And his opponent is going to be fighting for iRk, going to fight on match point here. So he is 1 point away from taking iRk into the finals, or the playoff finals. It's going to be Cubic. Cubic, one of their newer players to their roster. I believe he's Korean, but he's a really nice guy. And much like the rest of iRk, he is a very good player. So this is going to be very hard for Koga here. Now, Koga's done a really good job against his opponents so far in TVP, but as I said before, there were many people murmuring that Group A wasn't as hard as Group B, and he is going to come across his first Group B opponent here, and let's see how it's going to go as they move on to the map of Pathfinder. Pathfinder, a 3-player map. One of the main features you can see is the base. The mains are kind of like on an island in the middle. There is a ramp coming down from them, so they're not fully island or anything. But there is pathway all around the bases. There's a mineral-only third behind each of them as well, and an extra gas base. So this map doesn't actually have that much gas on it. There's actually a lot of minerals though, so we can see some really interesting things that come out from here. Now, 8-1 is actually the end of 2018 and the beginning of 19, so it's been, I'll probably change that because it's been confusing a lot of people. But either way, this style of map, as in Pathfinder, came back a lot in the ASL 4 preliminary map. No, the ASL 5 preliminary maps. But either way, let's see how both these players are going to play out this map. And let's see how the game is going to go. Let's head on over to the game now. And let's not waste any more time. Now, one thing I hope is everything is working fine. One thing I've noticed is I've not had any notifications, so I don't know if that's actually working or not. Hopefully it is, but if it isn't, I do apologise if anything got missed off. But starting us off in the bottom right-hand position, it's going to be the Blue Terran fighting for Poland, fighting for Net Wars, and fighting for Net Wars' chance to get into the playoff finals. It's going to be Koga. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand side in the 7 o'clock position. It's the Cannon Yellow Protoss. His name is Cubic, he's Korean, and he is one of iRk's newest members. And he is going to be looking to put the hurt on Koga here as he tries to move forward. Now this map does lead to some very interesting strategies. There is a lot of carriers on this map. We do see that quite a lot. Oh, I'm fairly certain my things must have been working because there was notifications for the bits. I don't know. Not really sure what's going on with that, but hopefully the alert box and everything is all working, because if it's not, there's not too much I can do about it. But either way, I mean, as I said, carrier is very strong on this map. 2 base carrier, 3 base carrier, 4 base carrier. I don't know, I can't really say anything else because there's a lot of stuff going on. But just now I learned that Muesli PL was actually Yeti, so nice to know your other ID, man. Good game last game. Just unfortunately, you got caught off guard by the build order, I think, and there wasn't really too much you could do about all the cannons. But still, a great game from you, and hopefully you feel proud of your performance. You've done a very good job throughout the entire STPL so far. So, don't worry about a thing. Now, Koga is going to go for the wall at his main ramp. You can build a thingy here, and that I think that's actually a full wall against Zealots, so going to be pretty good for him. Now he is going to go into gas now. Is he going to pull his guys off gas at 88, or is he going to stay in? If he stays in, we could see a 2-fact here even. A 2-factor pretty strong build on this map. Looks like he is going to pull out, but does wait until 100 gas rather than pulling out 88, so it's kind of interesting. And is going to leave 2 in. So Koga isn't going to go for anything crazy, going to add that second supply depot in. Now, of course, we don't actually have a scout from either player at the moment. Neither of them know where each other are. Now, Kubik's actually playing this incredibly greedily. Like, he's not going to scout, he's blocking his ramp, and he's going into a very quick robo. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this map before, the mains are on, like, this sort of semi-island pattern. You can see the ramp where the probe and the zealot are. This does mean airplay of any kind is very, very strong. That includes Reavers. Now, one of the popular builds we did see when this map came out, and when it came back in, when it came out in the back of OSL 2010 Star League, and when it came back for the 2011... Wait, was it the TVing OSL this came back for? I think it was the TVing OSL, but maybe the Jin Air one. I can never remember the second one it came back for, but either way, we saw a lot of Reavers into carriers. Very, very standard transition on a map like this, just because of the map layout. Just Reavers in general are a very strong opening against Terran players right now. Looks like we won't have that full wall, as I did predict. He's going to go into an FD here.
I like your style, friend.
And thank you very much for the sub, Gogofo. As I said, you are my sugar daddy. Welcome to the... You know what? Okay, I don't know what I can say, because Zero always goes on about, like, welcome to the BSL Warriors or Warlords. I can never work out what he's saying. And it's not because I don't understand his accent, it's because both the words sound the same over, like, the internet for some reason. Either way, welcome to the STPL Brigade. I'm going to call it that because I'm English. A brigade is such a British English word, it's insane. If it was like if I was American, it'd be the STPL Platoon, but... I suppose it could be the Shinhan Tank Platoon, and then it fits STPL. But either way, we're going to have a 4 Zealot drop actually coming in first, and this could do a lot of damage, actually. I never thought of dropping 4 Zealots like this, but what exactly is Koga going to do to defend this? He mainly has 1 Vulture and a bunch of Marines. He can't put down a mine because it could get mine dragged into his SCVs. And the Marines are going to do absolutely nothing. There's no wall against these. And he can just pick up. There we go. He picks up. He moves away. He's not taking any hull damage apart from this 1 Zealot. And that's going to be... A brigade is used in American English as well. I realize it is. But brigade is like... I don't know. Like, I think of, like, weird English army terms when I hear the word brigade. Either way, it doesn't matter. Not too much of a big deal. But there we go. We have a Reaver coming in here now with the 2 Zealots. And there's actually a Wraith moving out to intercept the shuttle. Can he get this? Is this going to repeat of Mini versus Rain here? Or was it Mini versus Snow? I can't remember. Either way, it doesn't look like it is. That Reaver is going to get into the main base. Drops on top of the mine with the Zealots to eat that up. Oh, but oh no, the Wraith could get the shuttle. No, it doesn't. But it's so close. That shuttle is going to have to be incredibly careful now. Picks up the other 2 Zealots and is going to fly away to come back another day. Now, you won't see more than 1 Wraith. He went starport for a dropship, but unfortunately, well, probably a dropship and a Wraith. But unfortunately, he couldn't really do too much with that. Now, here we go. The Wraith is actually going to move in and try and find this shuttle. He's doing everything he can to kill this. Wow, he's actually going to start to take down this Reaver. It's going to take him a very, very long time to kill this, though. 8 damage a shot is not worth pushing down for. But the anti-air, of course, is the real strong point of this paper plane, as it does do 20 damage per hit against most air units, so really, really nicely used for them. Now, we have Koga with a lot of mines around his base. This is a very important maneuver. Not only does it scout for the shuttle, it also does deter drops as well. Now, we do have the command center flying in to take the natural. He's actually going to get his command center up before the Protoss gets the Nexus, But of course, Cubic is in an incredibly good position here to just take a third base immediately, and that looks exactly what he's going to do now. How many gateways do we have? We only have one gateway with this Reaver right now. We have a pylon. This is actually to spot for any drops. He's not going for third base immediately. This is to make sure he doesn't get tank drop behind his mineral line, because that's a very strong move on this map. It also stops run bys as well. I know that sounds very crazy, but here we go. Vultures coming in from the south. How many probes can they get? He's got 3 already. Can he get 4? He gets 4. Can he get 5? It doesn't look like he can. And he's going to pull away, but that's a lot of damage for only one Vulture. I mean, we can see 2 of the hero Vultures have survived. They're going to move behind here to try and scout for any third base as well, I believe. But now Cubic has to be careful. He needs to know that this is a possibility. Unfortunately, Koga doesn't have a scan or a turret to deal with this Observer. Looks like we're actually going to have a turret coming in at the natural, but that's probably not going to be in the right position to deal with this. Now, Koga just doing the best he can, scouting around. Scouting around basically for anything, even checking up here for any proxy tech or anything like that. Also could just be a little bit of a miss scout, but here we go, we have that tank drop coming in. I did mention this before, and this could do a lot of damage. And one thing he could choose to do is actually just drop up here and take this base, but that's a little bit of a more later game plan, and it looks like it is going to be this tank drop now. He's got the Wraith here to escort this. But here we go. We do have Koga moving down with this drop now. Of course, even though he has the pylon here to scout for this, it's going to be very hard for him to get units back here. Now, the idea would be to actually have... all the tanks are coming in from the bottom. Oh, they're going to go onto the high ground, are they? This could be a big, big maneuver. Now, are we going to see Cubic with the ability to see this drop coming in? He's going to see... oh, this is actually a very clever move. Dropping a single Vulture into the main. How many probes are they actually going to be able to get? Let's keep an eye on the kill count of that. And the tanks have been put in a position. They're a little bit too far away from the minerals, but he is going to be able to take down this pylon most likely, but does need to pull away. But the thing is, if he pulls away, he can drop in the main this Vulture. Up to 9 kills. This is so much damage. We've taken 10 kills now. 11 kills in a second. There we go. And it looks like there's no reaction from Cubic. Kogat's money has got incredibly high. It looks like we actually have a counter Reaver drop going in. That's a lot of SCVs that have gone down. That is why Cubic hasn't realized his probes are dying. Finally, the probes have been pulled away. The Vulture goes down, but not before killing at least 13 probes there. And oh my god, this could be a hard position. The Scarab actually gets around and gets a large chunk of SCVs. Oh, he could actually go for another drop. The Scarab goes down. It's going to be so many kills if it hits, and it looks like it's going to bug, but does kill the Marine. So all is not lost. This Reaver looks like it's on 11 kills itself, so trading worker for worker here. And you know what? Here we go. The shuttle moving around, trying to find some damage where it can. And my god, Gogofo, thank you so much. Man, you are so generous. I don't know what to say. But here we go, another drop coming into the main. Looks like we've got a very drop-heavy game, making use of the map terrain here. And it looks like we actually have that tank trying to take down these Dragoons, but the Dragoons are actually going to get on top of the tank. He needs to be careful. This tank's going to go down. Could even lose the dropship here if he's not careful. Oh, is it going to go down? Yes, it does. It goes down. Oh, sorry, it doesn't go down. It survives with 1 hit remaining. And that is so huge that he does keep that alive. He saves the tank as well. He should send that back on repair. But Kogat's slowly starting to pull into the lead with the supply, of course. We do have Cubic with the supply lead for the meantime. You can see how crazy this map is because we have tanks absolutely everywhere around the Terran base right now. He's up to 3 factories, going to add his 4th and 5th. Interestingly, not choosing to add a 3rd command center yet. Meanwhile, we do have... whoa, okay, that's not a Nexus. This is a Nexus, so... either way, there's not really too much I can say other than this is a pretty cool game so far. So we have the Dragoons moving in. They're actually going to be able to attack this factory, I believe. But he does need to be careful. Looks like he's going to try and move in and try and catch the Terran army unsieged. We do, of course, have that shoal with the Reaver in, but could this be too much too soon? Here we go, the Reaver and the Zealots coming in from behind. They're going to drop for the Zealot, but I'm not going to be able to do enough. And it looks like that's actually going to be enough for Koga to be able to hold on. He's going to send an SC... Oh, sorry, this is a Goliath. With a Goliath chasing down the shot. The shot is so close to dying. But he should be looking to take a third base soon. I'm very, very surprised we don't see that yet. Of course, he has gone up to 5 factories. So that does mean we could see a very aggressive game coming out of him here. But I seriously think that it would be better to see a third base coming in from Koga. Now Koga's fully repaired his dropship, making good usage of the Terra mechanics there to make the most out of his units. Now, if you will excuse me for just 1 second, I just need to quickly check something. Won't be a moment. There we go. My poor nose was getting very blocked up again. So, unfortunately, that's just how, or what happens whenever I'm casting for some reason. So, not really too much I can do about it. I can see we're up to 80 viewers again. Welcome back to the STPL, guys. I know it's not been as active recently, but starting from next week, there is going to be a lot more content heading your way. And it's going to be a lot of fun as we move on to the playoff finals and the 3rd and 4th place match next week. And then round 2 will be starting the week after. So, lots of stuff going on. Looks like we do have one of the vultures going down. I mean, Kogat's doing a really good job of trying to just keep a check on how many Protoss bases there are. And maybe that's why he's chosen not to expand again. He's most likely scanned this base. But one thing that he needs to be careful of, and it looks like we're actually going to have a scan go down to try and see where the army is. Interestingly, we see Kogat trying to take the 3rd mineral only. Oh no, yeah he is. Okay, fine. He's going to take the mineral only first. This does mean we should see some extra factories being added on for Vulture. It's going to be a little bit harder to add the Goliaths in and the tanks as well. But here we go, the dropship moving in. The dropship going to get caught though. But this could mean that Kubik's army is going to get caught out of position. No, it looks like Koga misclicked just a little bit, trying to get all his army in one place. I mean, this is a very, very strong army from Koga. He's got 2 attack already against the no upgrades whatsoever Protoss. Do we have 2-1 on the way, actually? It doesn't look like +1 plating's even started, so he definitely went for 2-0. He is trying to hit a timing here to try and kill the Protoss, but he needs to be careful. He's losing a lot of his vultures here to the tank fire and the zealots. But that is a very, very nice tank spread, and nice D-Matrix on that front. Vulture does keep it alive long enough to deal with this, and so many Dragoons have gone down. That's all of Kubik's army. And what a great, great move by Koga there with his insane tank count off of 2 base. And there we go. Kubik can't hold on. Koga is going to take it to an ace match. We're going to be 2-2. Koga does what he needs to do, gets Net Wars back into the game. And that is going to take us up to our first ace match. And this ace match is going to define who is going to make it into the playoff finals. So that's pretty awesome that we've had an ace match here in the playoff semifinals. In a way, just based on what everyone was saying about how, wow, like, Group A is not as strong as Group B and things like that, we finally proven that Group A were not to be underestimated. They are doing very well against iRk here. And we are going to move on to our 5th and final game of this first set today. And it's going to be on Gladiator. So, let me load up the replay, and I will show the intro once again, and we'll be back in just a minute. See you guys soon. Whoops, I took a little bit longer than I normally would, but you are back, you are watching the STPL, and my name is Kix, I'm your host, and we are moving on to the ace match between NetWars and iRk here, and I am excited to tell you which players they're going to be, but I'm going to wait just a second. But you know what? I'm going to give chat a chance. This is a bit weird for me to do this, but guys in chat, who do you think both of them are going to send out as their ace players? I'm going to give you like a minute. That'll give me a chance to have a bit of a drink as well, because I've been talking non-stop now for nearly, well, only about an hour and a half, but still, it's a lot. I'll wait. Someone make a guess, like anyone? Draco versus the Walt. Draco, wait. Is Draco on NetWars? I didn't even know he still played. DeWalt versus Victim. Okay, well, I can see that there's been a few things, a few guesses, and I'm happy to say that Drone, in fact, on the Forum Room or Discord was correct. It's going to be these two players. Let's move on over to the overlay and introduce them. Here we go, let's move on over. Okay, as you can see, we're going to have Koga versus DeWalt. Now, DeWalt's actual win rate is probably 7 for 1 as well. He went 6 for 0 for SK Alpha to not break the standings. I had to reset his win rate, but still, he's done an insane job. And you know what? This is going to be an epic, epic match. Arguably the best foreign Terran at the moment, or the best European Terran at the moment, should I say, and the best European Protoss as well. Well, I say European, but he's Russian, if I remember rightly. I hope I didn't get that wrong. I'm sure he's Russian. Either way, great players here. Two of the best foreign players at the moment, and this should be an epic, epic matchup. And they are going to be playing on one of the most standard maps. I think it's the most modern map in the map pool. Looking at UTT1, it's going to be 2010's one and only Gladiator. It's on the ladder. It's been in ASL4, been in ASL5, and here it is in the STPL. And you know what, this should be a very fun map. TVP so far in the STPL has been pretty even here. It's been a 1-1, dead even, so it should be cool to see how both these players play out this map, how the map is going to go. And you know what, let's see exactly how both players are going to play this out, and let's see who is going to be our first team moving on to the finals. Would help if I unpause the replay, wouldn't it? There we go. So starting us off in the bottom left position. Okay, Dandy's Peruvian, so that's why I said European. And I've just realised DeWalt said he's in position 57. But he's not. Let's fix that. There we go. So starting us off in the bottom left position, it's going to be the red Protoss fighting for iRk. It's going to be DeWalt. And starting us off in the top right hand side is going to be his opponent, the captain of NetWars. There's actually been an interview with him up in the STPL thread. If you do want to check that out, he had quite a lot to say about NetWars and how they got to where they are. It's going to be the Purple Terran in the 2 o'clock position. It's going to be Koga. Now, Dandy is Terran, he just doesn't TBT, so he's a race traitor, not a crypto Protoss. And Koga, I mean, he's done a pretty good job. He sort of separated himself from the other European Terrans, I would say. Does consistently well in every single tournament he's in. Done crazily well in the SCPL. One of the best performing Terran players out of everybody, I would say. And been a real linchpin, leading from the front of NetWars, certainly Koga has. Uh, I mean, the other Netwars players, heck, the other foreign players in this tournament should all look up to people like Kogut and DeWalt. Both of them are both incredible players. They both put a lot of effort into the game. Whenever I look, Kogut's always practicing. It doesn't matter if he's just practicing 1v1 or if he's doing like Hunters or something. He likes doing team games as well. But that's why his Radley, why on earth would you PvP? Sorry, I don't want to detract from the game, but Radley just says he's a Terran but he PvPs. PvP is like the most fun matchup, so I don't know what you're doing, but either way, Koga misscouting slightly, does actually not send his SCV in the correct direction, so that will go into the Abyss, but the important thing for him is he is going to see this probe as it does leave the base, so kind of important. That's going to allow him to know exactly where to scout next. And there we go, we actually have a nice wall being set up by Kogut. Kogut knows that DeWalt is known for his Zealot Micro early on, and not so much as Bonith. Like, Bonith was the Zealot Micro player. Like, he would win games with just his Zealot Micro, but unfortunately Bonith has since moved on to greener pastures. He is playing Heroes of Might and Magic, and I understand from Rota that he's doing a very good job. I think he... Am I correct in saying he won a tournament or something, and he's one of the biggest streamers of it now, so... I mean, really, really good luck to him. Of course, it's a shame he's not in the Brood War scene anymore, but not really too much we can do about it. As long as he's enjoying himself, that's the main thing. We have DeWalt stepping up in his place and doing a fantastic job now. Are we going to see a 2-fact here? He's building a bunker out the front. He does need to do that to try and defend. But could this be to hide a 2-fact, or is this just going to be a siege expand? Oh, he's only building two Marines, so it's likely going to be a siege expand here, rather than a 2-fact, but he's built the extra depot as well before the command center, so this is a very, very weird build by Koga here. Looks like he is just going to delay his command center a bit, just to make sure he gets the bunker and is safe. Because one of the things on this map is it's very easy to die to early aggression when you do have the your units stuck on the high ground. Now, Koga interestingly scouted cross, so he is not going to be able to get in to see anything. He sees at 4 minutes no nexus though, and that is a pretty important thing to note. Now, what else can he see? He sees 3 pylons, so he knows there's no proxies. And he sees currently no tech other than goon range. So he should know there is going to be a nexus coming up here, even if he doesn't see it. That's one of the big telltale signs. No tech or anything at 4 minutes is a pretty big tell. And as we move forward into the game, we finally have the command center coming up for Koga. This is... If I'm going to be completely honest, I Siege Expand all the time. And I have never... And I've obviously watched a lot of Siege Expand VODs and stuff previously. And I think this is the first time I've seen like a Siege Expand done quite like this. Usually you want to delay this, the third depot and get your command center up a little bit quicker. But I guess Koga wants to be super safe. He didn't know if there was any proxies. I guess that's why he scouted cross, because he wanted to check for double gateway in the middle. But he knows there's no proxies now, which is the main thing. And he is just playing a little bit safe. Oh, apparently Bonith unfortunately lost the Heroes of Might Magic 3 championships, so you never know, he could come back to Brood War, but from what I understand, although, to be honest, this could be very, very out of date and wrong information, just purely on the basis that it was from the leader of SK, 619. He did say that Bonith was very busy with school and work, so that's why he wasn't around so much. And he actually took 2 walkovers in the STPL, so he never actually played a single game. Kind of like, I guess the player I'd sort of relate it to is Zeki. Like, Zeki was without a doubt the strongest foreign player, arguably of all time. Like, he was doing an incredible job and then he just disappeared. And he decided not to play again. Then when it came to the ESL qualifiers, I think it was the ESL LA qualifiers, he won the first one, I think it was, and then never played any of the other ones, qualified, but then didn't actually show up. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that happened. But DeWalt knows that we could see a drop here, but there's not going to be. It's going to be straight to factory off the back of this expansion. But both players are playing this very, very passively. I'm kind of surprised we don't see any aggression really coming out from either side now. Usually the Protoss player will want to put some hurt down on the bunker, but I mean, DeWalt hasn't even left his base. I think he just wants to make sure he doesn't die to a drop. Like, he saw what it did to Cubic. Cubic would have spoken to him about the game in between. And this is one of the benefits of it being a team league. You're triple BBS against him. What is your name, Radley? Boxer? Well, you did play as Boxer in the old STPL, so I guess it makes sense. Triple bunker rush, but here we go. We actually have a probe moving out to the bottom right, scout around for any hidden bases. Looks like he could even be trying to hide a base of his own. Sorry, I'm just taking a drink while it's a little bit quiet. Not really too much to say about the game at the moment. We have Koga going into a third factory. Looks like he went for a factory up here but cancelled it. We do have the starport done as well, so we could see very, very quick +2 coming in from him again. He'll probably build that science facility almost immediately, I would say. That seems to be very much his style. One thing to note about foreign players, especially people like Koga, is Koga very much has his own style that he enjoys playing. And he does it a lot. Like, this is pretty much exactly the same way he played out the previous map. And once again, he's faced with a Reaver build. Now, is he going to go for a Wraith after this dropship? There is an engineer base, so that's actually a little bit later, so that is one difference he's made. And let's have a look at DeWalt's base. So DeWalt is adding up to 6 gateways right now. That's going to be a lot of gateway units pumping out into the map. Now, DeWalt still hasn't actually taken a third base, and that's a very late third base for a TVP. PvT, we usually see very, very quick thirds. I guess DeWalt wasn't really sure what he was facing. Wanted to try and get some damage done with his Reaver first. Now, we do have the Reaver trying to do what Snow did and actually take down the bunker, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have enough units back here to defend against this. Now, nearly running into the spider mine. Oh, this could be a juicy mine if it hits. Is he going to get close? No, he isn't. There we go. That answers that. Oh, the Reaver is saved. Just one hit away from death. This Vulture could even finish off. Oh, he's not realised how low it is. He just wants to not waste his mines. And if you'll excuse me a second, I just need to mute my microphone again. Yeah, I do apologise for that constantly happening, but I was losing my voice, and it gets to the point I can't actually talk. Okay, here we go. DT's coming out as well. He's gone Reaver into DT. Now, a DT drop could actually be very powerful on this map if he can pull it off, but Vulture's moving around, trying to get in to this third base location, but he's not going to see that there is any defense there yet, so he is going to have to pull away. Doesn't want to throw away too many units. Not really too much else to say for that. Now, thank you to all the people that are currently tuning in. Thank you to any donators we've had as well. I can't check the prize pool at the moment, but the last time I checked it was at $1,014. Now, the prize is distributed at the end of all 4 rounds and all 4 sets of playoffs, so this isn't for money as such, but it is for a chance to get the big money at the end. If you've just tuned in, I did explain this a little bit earlier. This is the playoffs of the Shinhan Tank Pro League Round 1. There's 4 rounds overall. Oh, nice work. He's actually killing this bunker. This is really important to do, otherwise your units get stuck. But it is round 1 of 4. We've had 7 weeks of group stages, 1 week of tiebreaker to lead us to this game. And there is 1 more game left of round 1 after this, because it will be the finals and the 3rd and 4th place match. So this match is pretty much for all the marbles, the way the grand finals work at the end of the STPL. Oh, that's actually a really nice drop. Sorry, I completely missed this. But Arbiters are in play now. The probes got pulled away and pulled back again. But basically, if you win the ball, if you get into the playoffs, you get some league points. Now, the winner of the playoffs for each round will receive 5 points. The runner-up will receive 3. Third place will receive 2, and fourth place will receive 1. Now, the people who get into the grand final at the end, I've not figured out if it's going to be 4 or 8 teams yet. I think it's going to be 4 based on the format I'm going to use. But basically, the top 4 teams will say, with the highest amount of league points, will head on to the grand finals. Now, I have explained before, we did have 14 teams before. I'm hoping we'll have 14 teams again. It's very possible that Media may be looking at joining, which would be really sick. That's Artosis' clan. People like iRk and Machine in controlling that in there, so that'd be really cool to have them on board. But basically, the bottom teams who do not make it to the grand finals, nice minds by the way, will actually get a percentage of the prize pool. That'll be the bottom 10 teams. And then the top 4 teams will get a set of the prize. I've not figured out exactly how much they'll get, but it'll be a decent chunk. Of course, the winner will get the most. But here we go. We actually have an Arbiter here. Does he have recall? Does he have stasis? He's gonna... Oh, that could be a huge Mind Drag. A huge Mind Drag killing a decent number of Vultures. But DeWalt needs to be careful. He's sending a lot of units to the Doom here. The Wraith... Oh, sorry, the Reaver goes down. The Shuttle goes down. And this is a lot of stuck units. I mean, this is 5 Dragoons. He cannot get them out. What is he going to do? He's trying to push up. He's trying to cancel this command center. But this is so many mines. Really, really nice mine usage by Koget here. Gonna buy him enough time to get this command center up. And unlike Flash in Flash vs. Snow, he has a missile turret. He is ready, but the trouble is, he has mines of where his units are going to be, or where his minerals are going to be mined from. So that would be an incredible mine to back if that goes down. But here we go. 4th Nexus is up. That's actually the 4th command center for Koget. Now let's have a check on the upgrades. We have 2-1 for our Terran player, 1-0 for our Protoss player. We should see probably 3-0. Yeah, there we go. 2-0 even. Attack upgrades are a lot more important than armor upgrades for Protoss against Terran. But late game, armor upgrades help a little bit. They do help Vultures, or Zealots against Vultures and things like that. So, yeah, Koget is very, very, very safe against recalls at the moment. His main is actually a little bit more undefended, but I mean, he's pushing out on the map now, and he's pushing in a way that defends his 4th base. Like, this is the important thing in TvP. If you're going to push, you have to push in a way that will either secure you a base or defend your current bases. He can lay mines up here. He's got his reinforcements defending against any possible counterattack. But if he pushes here, if he takes this location, he's going to cut off this all-important 4th gas for DeWalt, and he's going to secure this base as his own. But here we go. Looks like he's going to try and push in. A nice stasis goes down before the EMP can go down. But is this Arbiter going to stay alive? It doesn't look like it's long for this world. The Goliath doing a lot, but it's still up. There's no scan and a huge stasis at the back. All of Koget's units are actually stasised right now. I think he had more units stasised than DeWalt actually had units available to attack with at the time. But that was a huge stasis. Just look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tanks and 2 Vultures in that stasis. What a crazy, crazy bit of info there. And here's the interesting part. Here is where Koget is slowly going to start to have trouble. He's going to lose these tanks. A nice scan does go down on top of the units, but the Storms as well doing an insane, incredible job against everything. And these tanks are unfortunately just sitting ducks. Here we go. Dragoons going in from behind, and this is most of Koget's army, and this could lead DeWalt up to a counterattack, but Koget is traded really, really well there. The upgrade advantage really coming into play. +2 attack isn't finished yet, and still 2-1 for the Terran. I think he actually EMP'd the army as well to help take out some of those units. But Koget trying to be aggressive with his Vultures. He's pulling away. He's trying to get as many of the probes as he can. But there's... Ooh, can he actually get up to this base? There's not really that much here defending, but of course without scanning he's not going to know about that, and he's going to have to try and save his vultures. He can't be afforded, or he can't afford to throw units away willy-nilly, and for a second I thought that was a recall. I was like, recall! It was like the bit with MC John, or whatever his name was, the middle guy from OGN, where he's like screaming for a recall and it's just Observer flying into the base. There we go, DeWalt doing what he can to try and block any possible 5th base attempts from Koga. He does know that there's no unit movement over in the top left corner, but this could be for a recall. I know I said a recall before, but this could be it, and it's actually going to scout for the dropship. Now, unlike one of my games, we don't see a stasis being wasted on that to make sure it's killed. I can't remember who did it to me. I think it was DM White who did it twice. But here we go, a tank drop coming in to the 4th base, but this is not gonna... Oh, sorry, the 5th base, but that is not going to be long for this world. He's going to try and get away from the... Oh, he doesn't drop the tanks either. That's a huge, huge loss to be taking. And where did that... Oh, the Arbiter came back. I guess it saw what it needed to see and came back, but... I mean, DeWalt's got units absolutely everywhere right now. Let's have a look at his base. Let's count the gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 gateways. Going to be adding on a 12th. We have double Stargate for Arbiter. We have the 4th base, the 5th base, and the 6th base here coming up as well. We still see Koga stuck on 4 base. He's lost a lot of tanks. He's been losing tanks a lot, and this is the problem. There we go. So, what are we going to see here now? Is DeWalt going to go for a big recall, or is he just going to try and solidify his position on the map and try and starve Koga out? Koga looks like he's trying to move out on the map now with his vultures, but a huge stasis again, getting a bunch of those vultures. And every single vulture that he loses is not going to be in that fight now. A mine actually goes down on top, another stasis goes down on the only vessel, and another one goes down on some more units. The unit spread of Koga just hasn't been there, and could this just be the straw that breaks the camel's back? More vultures coming in from behind, but the units at the bottom going to be fighting onto high ground. Of course, the Dragoons fighting high ground to low ground now as well, so... Is he going to have enough to break through? It looks like he might do. The supplies are actually even right now, but most of Koga's units are still in stasis. And I mean, he's trying to pull tanks in from behind. He's going to be able to repair, but is it going to be enough? The Zealots getting on top of the tanks. The Vultures at the back not coming in. The Vultures from the back even not coming back in either. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't know why my follow notifications aren't showing, but here we go. The last remaining tanks are going down. The Vultures have only just realized they're out of stasis. They're going to come in, but this is a very important base for Koga to hold on to. He's not really holding on to too many units. This base is going to go down. And with it, I think, so is Net Wars. It looks like DeWalt has done enough. He's got so many units. Koga still has stuff to defend, but a nice storm does go down on this tank. And is DeWalt going to be able to sort of capitalize on this? I'm not too sure. Koga is trying to play as defensive as possible. He wants to hold on. A nice mine actually goes down on a couple of Dragoons there. And of course there's a lot of mines, a lot of tower, a single tank, a lot of mines up here defending this base. But how is Koga going to take another base? He's trying to take this 4th base again, but honestly, there's only just a little bit more than the CC at this base. So he can't take a 5th base. He's going to have a lot of trouble with that. He didn't take advantage by taking the space when he pushed the first time. His units got absolutely annihilated. And here we go. Looks like DeWalt taking his 6th base now. We have Koga moving around trying to lay as many mines as possible, making good usage of his vultures through this game. And is this going to be enough? It looks like Koga tried to move some, or move a CC over there. I mean, he's going to pull it back immediately, but that's a lot of units going down to mines even. Now this is kind of funny, that CC got all the way there and it's pulling all the way back now. Looks like we do have a single Marine actually here going to scout out that this base has been taken. And this could be the thing that makes Koga realize just how far behind he is. I mean, we've got Vultures moving in, trying to do as much damage as possible. We can't afford to scan to actually kill any probes. But here we go, more and more Vultures still pushing up. He's going to get some probes over here, but the cannon there going to be very annoying. But he's going to be able to stop the mining, at least from a few of the patches. But just look at this army from DeWalt. He's at 2-0 upgrades. Do we have 3-2 for Koga? Yes, we do. So the upgrade advantage, definitely with Koga, and DeWalt has actually given Koga time to rebuild his army. but Koget's army is completely out of position. There's going to be a lot of stasis once again going down on these units. A stasis, they're only actually getting 2 tanks, so that isn't that many, but this is going to be a big one. There we go, more and more units coming in from all angles once again from DeWalt. And so many stasis going down. This is the problem I have in my games, where you think you're in a good position, and then all of your units get turned into a gem, and you die. So it looks like Koga, unfortunately, is going to lose this army yet again. Now, weirdly enough, this one tank at the back is doing so much damage, there's no units that can get to it. Some SCVs even have been pulled to try and block this. But Koga isn't mining it as main, he's not mining it as natural anymore, but he is going to be able to save these units. That's such an important moment in the game, and could be what Koga needs to turn this around. He's still mining from his 4th base, now his 3rd base. Now, it's kind of crazy that we haven't seen a single recall come in from DeWalt yet. I guess he didn't want to risk it. Failing a recall is one way to lose your position in the game, I guess. Now, another Marine over here did get a single kill and has actually made it all the way over here to kill this pylon. Now, Koga is going to try and take this base now. The CC is making its long trip back the other way. Okay, so the CC is running away. That does not want any piece of this. It does not want to go down. We have a lot of vultures, a lot of mines being laid down here. But is it going to be enough to hold onto the base? I'm not so sure. DT even coming in. Oh, this could be a big mine drag. Oh, he needs to be careful of this. He needs to be so careful, otherwise that's going to happen. And he'll lose even more and more of his units. Now, Koget's tank count is pretty good. He's still at 3-2 upgrades, of course. But, I mean, DeWalt, all he needs to do is get one good recall off his bank. Like, the banks say everything here, ladies and gentlemen. We have DeWalt with 4k minerals, nearly 2k gas. Koga is scraping by on 400 minerals, 400 gas. So Koga is still not out of this yet, I don't want to call it, but DeWalt definitely does have a huge advantage, and I think this could be it. I think this could be the final engagement. We don't see it, we see one stasis ready, but finally we see some Goliaths on the front. Now, is Koga going to be able to hold on? It looks like he might do. Now, this has been such a long series. I may actually do the other one tomorrow, although BSL is tomorrow, I guess, so I'll probably stick at it, but it is very late for me, so we'll see how long this game goes on for, because Koga is down, but he's not out. He can still take another base, at least his mineral only, but how on earth is he going to get another base after that? But here we go. We see a big engagement moving in. No, we don't. We see the Protoss army running away. Cowardly Protoss. Despite having a huge lead, DeWalt does not want to end the game. I don't know why. But here we go, Koga doing his best to hold on. He's pushing down, trying to secure this base. If he can get this base up, he may be able to make something happen. Terran Mech is incredibly efficient when they get 3-3 upgrades against the Protoss army. I mean, this is one of the things that people call Tesagi for. But seriously. Oh, we actually have a big recall. Sorry, I nearly missed it. Luckily enough, I had a look at the minimap. We have a vessel going down. There's 2 tanks back here to defend. The Dragoons are actually going to have trouble getting up to these. But that was the recall that we needed to see. But I still think this could have happened a while ago. Like, if this happened a while ago, I think this would be a completely different game. But Koga is trying to push in against DeWalt's army. I don't think he realizes just how far behind he is. Another stasis going on. He doesn't actually have that many vultures here. So these zealots are going to be doing a lot. But here we go. It looks like a lot of DeWalt's supply is actually in probes. Like, where on earth is DeWalt's units? He doesn't have anything. He's got this top left base. He's not mining. We do obviously have this base mining now for Koga. We do have a tank here to defend as well. But DeWalt could actually lose these bottom right bases. There's not enough units out here on the map for DeWalt. He's just got way too many probes, I feel. I can't believe where all his army is. It doesn't make any sense, but wow, those Dragoons actually killed everything. But he does manage to save the recall. Looks like the units of Koga have been pushed back again. He needs to get ready to save these from stasis. Oh, he needs to move these back. Oh, there we go. Wow, he was actually ready for that. We actually see the scan go down. Gonna kill his own tank, but he has a good position. And there we go. So let's actually zoom out again. Could be the final engagement. Can DeWalt break Koga here? Another great stasis, but that's actually going to wall off some of the units, but there's no reinforcements. The reinforcements moving in very, very slowly. And this could be the moment that DeWalt needed to finally close out the game. More and more units spreading over. I know I said before he didn't have that many units, but he does now. And here they all are. They're converging. He hit the army hotkey, and he's pulled them all to one place. And that is going to be enough to break Koga. And I think, I said this before, but I think seriously this time, that this could be the end of Net Wars here in the playoffs. Of course, they will have the third and fourth place match to play, so this is not going to be the end of Net Wars. We're going to see them again, and then they'll be back strong as ever for round 2. But I think DeWalt is going to catapult iRk into the finals here. Now, Koget's doing a really good job of saving his tanks, but there we go, another stasis going down. This is one of the most frustrating things to see as a Terran player, because I know just how this feels. You're trying to play as efficiently as possible, you're losing all your bases, you're barely mining. He's mined out this third base now, he never retook this. I mean, he's trying to take down the units at DeWalt. He's not got a single defense matrix or an EMP. I mean, he's doing everything he can to hold on, but is it really going to be enough? Just look at the size of the army coming up from DeWalt. He has so many gateways now across so many different bases. I mean, DeWalt is just playing with his food right now. Even if he loses all of his units like this, it doesn't really matter. Look at the scans from Koget. Koget sees both the corner bases are taken. That's going to be enough. GG! And iRk are going to beat Net Wars 3-2 in our first game of the STPL playoffs. Or the first set, should I say. And that, I mean, that was a pretty exciting series. I know we had some very, very long games, so we had a 40-minute game, a 30-minute game as well. Let me just report that. There's just a few things I need to update on the overlay, so let's just bring it back to me. Of course, that is our first game of today. I may actually make that our only game for today and do the last or the next set on Sunday, just because my voice is completely going and I don't want to completely kill it. But either way, let's update all the overlay. Let's actually make sure we've got everything reported so we know exactly what's gone on. DeWalt doing a really, really good job there. Let's check on the results, and then I'll check the. We'll have a look at who our first finalist is. We'll just confirm that, and we'll have a look at who's going to be our next series. So let me just quickly set that up. So I believe this is going to be this one. Thank you very much, Tempest. I can't do it on Saturday just because BSL's on Saturday. That's the only reason why I wouldn't do it then. It wouldn't be very fair on Zero. Because, yeah, that's Zero's time. Yeah, okay, so let's actually play a little bit of music with this. I don't know how loud the music is for you guys. You may not be able to hear it. But, you know what? It's been a great day, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as I have. iRk took out Net Wars there. Two very strong teams battling it out. And we can see they're a very even team, so it'll be interesting to see where they both sit in round 2. Are they going to be in a group together? Are we going to see them play each other more? I mean, iRk, they are one of the strongest teams of Group B, obviously, because they did get out of the group, and they were in a group with Soul and White Clan, who people were saying no one would ever beat, but iRk beat both of them, so iRk did a very good job. Let's actually head on over to the overlay to confirm the results of today. And let's have a look at who is going to be our next series and who our first finalists are. So, or just confirm it anyway. Let's move on over. There we go. So as you can see, iRk taking out Net Wars there. Zero starting Net Wars off on a high, taking out Whistler in the CVC. Norgrim biting back with a very nicely played long ZVP on Sincha Pungyung. DeWalt with a fairly clinical win on New Empire of the Sun in a PvP. Koget kept the hope alive for Net Wars on Pathfinder against Cubic, but unfortunately his TVP was not enough to take down the Russian powerhouse DeWalt, and I bet I've got his location wrong. I hope I haven't. You know, I really hope I haven't. But if he's not Russian, I do apologize. I'm sure he's Russian though. But DeWalt doing an incredible job there, playing a great game on Gladiator, and gonna hammer home the win for iRk. And let's just confirm that with who is going to be in the playoffs. As you can see, semi-final A has concluded. Net Wars have been knocked down into the 3rd and 4th place match. I need to add that onto the overlay. I didn't realize I didn't do that before. But that's going to put iRk as our first team in the final, and they are going to be waiting for their opponent out of the other two clans. It's going to be DM Clan and White Clan. Disturbed Mind and White Clan, even though it says iRk. That's very weird. That's a bug on my overlay. But you know what? That's been a lot of fun. I'm going to send it back to the camera once again, just to say my farewells. Hopefully Cadenzi may join me on Sunday if she's feeling a little bit better. Obviously. Now, I know it's a StarCraft 2 tournament, but Rapid, the person who was here in my house a few weeks ago, well, 3 weeks ago now, I guess, he is casting at WCS Austin in DreamHack, so do tune into that. BSL is going to be on this weekend again. That's going to be with Zero on his channel, STPL. That will be tomorrow. And on Sunday, you can join me once again from my prison cell, as people call it, my flat, my home, whatever. I'll be joined with at least my sheep and my cat behind me, who is asleep very cutely. That doesn't make any sense. But either way, thank you for the donations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the players for playing the games as well. And I am just going to sign out. Thank you once again for the bit donation, Chava. That does mean a lot. And let me just quickly check the Matcherino page just to see what the current prize pool sits at. Of course, the prize pool is given out at the end of all 4 rounds. So don't get too excited. No prize pool money will be given out at the end of the playoff finals. But the prize pool currently sits at $1,014.90, thanks to wonderful donations from a lot of different people. To name a few names, Caspus with a $701 donation, Philos with 101, Marky Mark with 51, Tempest with 50, and Grey Shades with 31. And if you visit the Matcherino page for the tournament, you can actually contribute to the prize pool by visiting a few websites. I've checked them. There's no viruses. You don't have to click anything on them. You just click on the websites. So that's woodwatches.com. That's a Matcherino sponsor. That'll give you 50 cents. 20 cents for bravenbearded.com, another sponsor of Matcherino. And if you follow Matcherino on Twitter, you can get 40 cents for the prize pool. Visit IGN.com even as well for 20 cents. And follow Momocon, or Momocon for 20 cents as well. That's the anime and manga convention in America that just concluded. So do check those out. Do add any money to the prize pool you can by giving out that free money. I'm going to see if I can get some Matcherino codes again. I know I've run out of those codes now, so I'm going to speak to Matcherino for that. They are an official sponsor of the STPL. I must thank them as well. But once again, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys on Sunday for the next edition of the STPL. And it is going to be DM versus White Clan. Hopefully see you guys then. Don't miss a thing, and thank you once again for tuning in, and peace. Have a good evening, have a good afternoon, and have a good Saturday morning if you are that way inclined already. And do enjoy your weekend, guys. I will see you at the end of it, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.